What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of College Football Podcast, your favorite podcast. And I'm here, right here, as your humble host. I'm Jerome Jones, and I'm here with my man, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ray. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. If you guys are watching me right now and you're trying to figure out what's going on up here, I just came from Orlando. It was super hot. We went out down there for the OT7. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the overtime 7-on-7 tournament that they have. And had it one time in Orlando. They're gonna be in Baltimore in 2 weeks. But we went to the Orlando one, got fried crispy. So I'm still peeling off. My body is still rejecting the sunlight and everything like that. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I had a blast down there. Me and LaMarcus are CEO, COO rather. So definitely, man, good week for us, man. Got to talk to some of your Notre Dame guys as CJ Carr looked good down there, man. It looks good.
Yeah, nice player.
Athlete, he's an athlete too, man. That man can run.
It's gonna be fun,
man. As you see, I got my Michigan gear on, but I'm sad about that one, man. And I know we just got Jaden Davis, but CJ Carr looked good. I did ask him about Michigan too. So if you guys haven't seen that interview, make sure you go watch that after this. Don't stop watching us. Watch it after this on his YouTube channel, and you can go watch that on there. If you want to, you could go to that QR code right there in the corner and scan that later on, and then you can watch it. My interview with CJ Carr, who's committed to Notre Dame. I know Ray already watched it, being a Notre Dame guy.
I did.
Appreciate that.
I'm very excited. Like I said, I think with Sam Hartman being transferring to Notre Dame through the portal, and then getting CJ Carr in the year after that, I think it elevates our quarterback situation from a lot farther than it's been for the last 2 years. So.
Like I say, I'm jealous. I am jealous, man. Seeing that man in person might be. I said I made a hot take to one of my friends this week. It might have been one of my favorite in-person quarterbacks I seen coming out of college. I mean, high school. So
yeah,
that's saying a lot. I've seen a lot of high school quarterbacks. So let's get back into the draft, guys. We're gonna be talking about some draft stuff. We're gonna be finishing the defense. We'll be talking. Linebackers, so that's off-ball linebackers, corners, and safeties today. As always, we're going to do our top 5 on our linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties, going from 5 to 1. So let's get right into the linebackers, top 5 linebackers in the draft. For you, Ray, number 5.
Well, I have a 5A and a 5B.
I do too, actually.
Henry Tahoe from Alabama and Ian Pace from Cincinnati. Both. I think Pace will be a middle linebacker. I think Tyler could play either, probably some weak side or a middle linebacker. Like both players, I think they both need to put on some muscle, some weight to play, to hold up and do the endurance part of the game. But I'm a fan of both players. And linebacker is not as sexy a position as it used to be when I was a kid, but it's still, to me, an important position. So.
100%. Yeah, I feel like each year the linebacker position is getting a little overlooked. It's starting to become like the running back position where it's not. They don't look at it as important because there's so many hybrid players nowadays.
Yeah,
there's not many off-ball linebackers starting as much now. But I'm gonna get to my 5. I got 5A and 5B. One is the same guy that you say, right? Ian Pace Jr. Met him at the Senior Bowl. Really, really incredible kid. Very confident. He said he's gonna go down there and get 10 tackles. He said interception, 2 sacks. He didn't get the interception and sacks. It's kind of hard to go do that in the All-Star game. But to get 10 tackles in the All-Star game, that's amazing because these guys are rotating in and out. So he did very, very well at the Senior Bowl, right?
I'm a fan. I think that I don't want to. He's not a Hall. I'm not going to say he's a Hall of Fame player, but his game film reminds me a lot of Zach Thomas. When Zach Thomas was in college, coming out of Texas Tech, like a lot of short guy, 5'10" ish.
Yep.
He's right around the same weight as Zach Thomas was, 230, 235. So the comparison there is very good. Now, is he going to go out there and get the job done? We'll see. I think he is a confident player who plays with intelligence. I think he'll play in the league. Where he plays, we'll find out.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm curious to see where he plays because I think the team's gonna really like him. Like I said, I like his confidence. He was really, straight on what he wanted. He went there and I asked him, I was like, what's some of the things that you want to learn down here? It's like nothing. I think I know everything. I just want to show everybody that I'm not too small to play this game. So love the confidence in him to say some stuff like that. Because usually people are like, I can work on this. So he's like, nothing. I just want to show that I'm not too small to play this game. And he showed it. He showed it for sure. My other five, so it'd be my 5B is the Marion Overshawn, a guy that I've been watching a lot from Texas. I really, really like him. I actually was really trying my best to interview him at the Senior Bowl. Didn't get to, but he was a guy that played very, very well at Texas for the last 4 or 5 years. I think he was there. Played very, very well. Showed the same things at the Senior Bowl, and just an overall great defender. We think, Ray?
Well, I have DeMar Overshawn as one of my sleepers, so I'm a big fan.
Awesome. That's great, man.
Like you said, shit has nice size, 262, 230. Good player, very athletic. I'm a fan.
Correct. All right, Ray. Let's get to your number 4. Who you got?
Noah Sewell from Oregon. Again, an inside type linebacker kid, and he has everything. He's 6'4", 6'1", 245. He looks the part. He plays the part. He's probably – there are two guys I like as true inside linebackers that I don't want to say plug and play, but they're about as close as you can be in this draft as far as those guys that can probably come in and play a little bit for you in the first year or so.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I like that pick, right? I don't have him in my top 5, but I would have him very close up to the top 5, like a 6, maybe 7. All right, my number 4 is a guy that you already talked about, Henry Tutu from Alabama, 6'1", 227 pounds, ran a 4.6 in the 40 time. I really like this guy. I think he's going to be a really good player. Like you say, he can play outside or inside. I think that, he's not super small. He can get a little bit bigger, like you said, Ray. I think the biggest thing with him, he just needs to get off of blocks a little bit better, be more consistent in the running game, which kind of go hand in hand together. But I mean, as a linebacker in this day's age, I think he can really fit in with the team.
I agree. I think in a perfect situation, in a true 3-4, if he's that second inside linebacker, where you can ask him to blitz a little bit, drop back in coverage, I think he can do a lot of nice things for you as a player. He's a really smart kid. He does struggle with getting off blocks at times. He does.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Definitely. All right, let's go to our number 3 guy. Who you got, Ray?
Drew Sanders from Arkansas. True outside gut linebacker who can do some off-ball stuff for you. He can rush the quarterback a little bit, but he's really a guy who can come in and play against tight ends for you and be a good player against the run. So
definitely. I like him a lot. He's a really good player. I actually got him a little bit higher, kind of spoiling it a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with my number 3 guy is Jack Campbell from Iowa. The man is 6'5", 249 pounds. This dude is tall. He was the 2022 Buckets Award winner, so he can play. Very physical. Can play very well. I think he's a little, for his length, he can be a little tight sometimes, so that could be an issue with him. But I think a sideline guy. Showed a lot of leadership being at Iowa, and I always talk about Iowa, man. They are a hard-nosed team. Like you don't out physical that team. So I really like him back there. Ray, let's get to your number 2.
Number 2 is Jack Campbell.
Again,
a thumping middle linebacker who's longer and more athletic than people realize. I would love if Miami has 3 needs in the draft, they only have 4 picks, so God bless them. But they need to improve their offensive line.
You only got 4. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
4 draft picks the whole draft, dude. They need to find a linebacker. They need to find an offensive lineman and a tight end. If they got a running back, that will be fine. But they're bringing back all the running backs. But they need to definitely find a linebacker. My dream is Jack Campbell was there, like second round. Miami jumps on it, and maybe I can maybe trade or lose one of my Jerome Baker, because I think I like Jerome Baker as a blitzing linebacker. I don't necessarily like him in my defense now. So
definitely. I like that though. He would be a good fit for you guys. I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me get to my number 2 guy, which is going to be Drew Sanders, Ray's number 3 guy. I got him just slightly higher, so we switched spots with each other, players there. But I like Drew Sanders. I heard some people think he, was a first round pick. I think he might be, could be an early second round pick. I don't think any linebackers going in the first round this year. But if there was a first round one, he was definitely in the mentions for one of them. 6'4", 235 pounds, 3 down linebacker. Really, I think he needs to develop a little bit in the run game, just a little bit, at least in the box. And I think that's just learning the scheme and trusting your eyes a little bit. But outside of that, listen, he's everywhere. Like, he's always around the ball. He's, very physical, and he can definitely pass rush for you on third downs if you want as well. So I think he's a great candidate to be one of the top linebackers in this draft.
Yep. I'm a Sanders fan too. Again, I think he's a second round player.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers tend to slip though. We'll
Correct. Yeah, you seen N'Kobe Dean last year slipped,
fell far, man.
Yeah.
I'm
not complaining.
I know. I never complain about good players, dude. So I just know that the linebackers are the position where if they're a first round talent, they're probably second round drafted, and so on and so on. So
correct. No, I agree. All right, Ray, let's review our first number 1 guy, because I think we both got the same guy.
Trenton Simpson. It's pretty easy. He's the only linebacker that probably could or should go in the first round. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Same guy I got from Clemson, the guy that I've been watching for a while. 6'3", 230 pounds. What is it about his game that you like, Ray?
Everything. He can cover. He can cover. He can blitz. He can come in and you could play him at defensive end on certain downs where he's long enough and athletic enough to get to the quarterback. He can drop back and cover tight ends. Mm-hmm. You could even put him in a slot against bigger physical receivers, and he could do some stuff with them. So he's a very versatile player. I just know he won't be there on Miami draft. So I think that's why I think I like Jack Campbell more than a lot of people. Uh-huh. But I like him because I think Miami has a shot to get him also. Where Trenton Simpson, if he's not in a first round player, he's in the top 10 picks in the second round. If he's not, then people are just not watching the guy play.
Yeah, he has to be. His production, the man ran a 4.43 in the combine, 25 reps on the bench press. So physical, fast, always around the ball.
Long, lean, athletic. I mean, there's everything there to work with. So, I mean, again, if you don't look at him and think you could put him in your defense, and I don't know what your defense should be. So
I wouldn't mind him being next to N'Kobe Dean. That would be a fast linebacker.
Would be a fast linebacking crew. Would be.
Man, all right. Let's get to our sleepers, Ray. If you guys don't know, sleepers are linebackers that most people don't know about or don't talk about enough that me and Ray think they need to be put some shine on. Ray, I'll let you start. Who you got?
Well, I told you I have DeMarvin Overshown from Texas, who I really like a lot. Again, second, third round player, probably will fall to late third, early fourth round. Just the nature of the position now. And Servakia Dennis from Pittsburgh, another kid who's 6 foot, 225 pounds, really athletic, fast, not long and lean, but quick and agile. So
Definitely. Super guy that I'm going to put in there is my guy. Got to interview multiple times. Been at the IG Academy with him. Talked to him when he was a youngster. Didn't think much of him until he played at Syracuse. Then I was like, man, this guy plays very well. And that's Michael Jones, sideline to sideline linebacker. Could fit a 4-3 type of scheme for you guys. His stature is 6'1", 220 pounds. So he got 4 sacks this year with a forced fumble. He only got 33 tackles, but because I believe he got injured, if I'm not mistaken. But a really good player you can have in coverage, and he'll definitely play very well and fluent for you guys. He's today's linebacker if you need one later in the draft. What do you think about Michael Jones?
I like him. I like him a lot, actually. Didn't see as much game film on it, because of him missing some games this year. So
yeah, correct.
Good
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get to our small school guys. So if you guys don't know, small school guys are guys that are going to small schools that not a lot of people probably know about them because they're going to small schools. Let's start there, Ray. Who you got?
2, Dorian Williams from Tulane, 6'1", 228. Good athletic kid. I think, again, fifth rounder, maybe he goes into 6th because he's in a smaller school. And I have Marte Mapu from Sacramento State. Another kid who, for Sacramento State, he's probably their best player on their defense. But he does a lot of things for them. He's a good, solid player against the run. He actually can play a little in coverage against tight ends and stuff. He's a 6'2", 215-pound kid. So he's a little lean. I don't know if he'll get drafted. I have him as a UFA, but the kid who maybe come in and do some special team stuff for you right away. So
definitely, I like it. All right, I'm gonna go with a guy, another Senior Bowl guy. Didn't get to interview him, but he's a good kid. A little small. He's 5'9", 210 pounds. But this kid can fly around. He'll get out after you, and that's Carlton Martell from Troy. Like I said, only 5'9", 210 pounds, so he's a smaller guy, but he had over 500 career tackles, which is crazy.
Where did you get the measurements from?
I'm getting them from the Draft Network.
Wow, I have 5'7", 215 for him.
5'7",
5'7", 215 pounds, dude.
Yeah, these are his combine measurables. So I'm guessing these are right. You know how sometimes that can get skewed.
No, I hear you.
Man, 5'7" would be small.
Yeah.
I like him though. He's a scrappy little guy. Like I said, I seen him at the Senior Bowl. I think they was trying him a little bit as a safety a little bit. He might have to play there a little bit in the NFL, depending on how you guys want to play him. But I really like him. He's box safety. He can cover fairly well. And very high football IQ. You can definitely tell that for him. But I really like him. What do you think about him, Ray?
No, I like the kid a lot. He is listed at 5'9" in the media guide too, but I have some listed to him of like 5'7.5". But he is a little fire plug, man. He's all over the place.
Yeah,
but he's an exciting player. Again, I put him up there with Mapu as a guy who can come in and maybe do some stuff for you on like special teams, But he's a tough kid because he's all over the place. So
yeah. It's hard to pass him up when you see him on film.
Yeah,
you see him. He's a little guy, but you see him. He's there. So definitely interested in that. All right, let's move on to our next position, and that will be the cornerback position. My favorite position, and just anything. I just love my corners. Ray, let's get to our top 5. Who you got at number 5, Ray?
Well, I have 2 of them also, 5A, 5B. I have Deontay Banks from Maryland, which and Kelly Ringo from Georgia. And I am starting to believe that they're somebody's watching what we're doing here, man, because Deontay Banks was not even on people's radar till 2 weeks ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's being taken in the first round.
I'm telling you, right after our last mock draft, and guys, if you haven't seen our mock draft, go watch it on YouTube. I'm telling you, after our mock draft, a lot of people have been saying the same stuff as us. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? Because I have like Ray, me and you usually have some very unique drafts, but I think both of us put a lot of time and effort and thought into our drafts. And when we pin them out, and I'm like, oh, I love this because nobody's really like, picking the guys that we have. And then all of a sudden, everybody's picking the same guys that we have. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I like Banks, and I have Kelly Ringo from Georgia as my 5A. Honestly, the game film for Banks was better than Ringo, but I have Ringo rated as a higher player going into the draft process or into the season. So I have my own little system that I use, so I'm never going to stray away from it. So
definitely. Yeah, Ringo's not in my top 5. Being down here in Georgia, I see and hear a lot of stuff, and not too high. I'm not high on him. I mean, I think a lot of people down here ain't really, to be honest. Not too hot on him, but
he
definitely athletic.
Struggled with tackling this year. He did.
Yeah.
But I can't let 2.5 of really good game film go away just because of he had some bad games this year. He did. So
yeah, in particular the one against Ohio State with Marvin Harrison.
No, that was probably the worst game I've seen him play in 2 years.
Yeah,
it was.
So
it was.
Not trying to knock the guy. I hope the guy.
No, I think if you put him in the right system, I would not play him as a man corner.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. I don't think he's physical enough. I think you need to play him as a zone type of a kid. But if you put him in that system where he can use his brain, I think he's going to be a pretty solid player. I do.
100%. I agree with you. All right. I'm going to pick my number 5 guy, and it's going to be the same guy as Ray. Ray, I can pick him at number 1.
Honestly, his game film this year, dude, I don't disagree with you.
And that tells you a lot about this cornerback class. Because if I can pick DeAndre Banks at 1, like I was so tempted to do it earlier. Like the last 2-3 weeks, I've been flipping around my cornerbacks like every week, and it's been hard. I did settle on the Deontay Banks at 5, but dude, this cornerback class is good. If I have him at 5,
I think really that's what it tells you, though. The fact that we feel that strongly about our top 5 guys, and we can almost change them around in the spots. It tells you how good of a class it is. So,
100%. All right, let's go to number 4. Ray, who you got?
I have Sam Smith from South Carolina. I'm a fan of this kid. I think he's a baller, man. I'll put it like that. He's around the ball. South Carolina produces guys that are around the ball.
Cam Smith, not Sam.
I'm sorry. Oh, Cam Smith. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got me last time with that because Sam Smith plays in the NFL too, and he plays cornerback. So yeah. I get why you said that. I get why you said that.
Yeah. Well, Cam Smith, he's a 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, but long arms. I'm a fan. I like South Carolina players in general, and I'm a big Cam Smith fan. So,
100%. Ray, we so far so good. We got the same players. Cam Smith at number 4 as well with me. Another guy. It's so hard to make this list because players. I'm like, man, I keep flip flopping these guys, but Cam Smith is definitely one of those guys. He's a dog for all the same reasons you say, Ray. Number 3, who you got?
Joey Porter from Penn State. Again, big, stronger kid, more of a man cover type of a guy. I'm not saying he couldn't play zone. I think almost anybody who has good eyes, and he has pretty eyes, I think he could play some zone. But I think with his length and his size, I'd rather play him as a man corner. But I'm a big Joey Porter fan, so I've been a fan of him all year. Earlier this year, I had him rated as my number 1 corner. But it wasn't that he didn't play well. It's just that 2 guys kind of outplayed him during the season.
I agree. Same thing. Joey Porter was one of my number 1 guys too coming into the season. But he's going to be one of those guys. Obviously he got that lineage from his father playing in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. He shows a lot of physicality like his father. Although he playing cornerback, he played linebacker. He shows a lot of physical presence as a corner. I really do like him. Good at coverage. Played at Penn State, so obviously, I got to see him a little bit more. I think he was dinged up a little bit this year, which kind of brought down his
He was. He
production.
was.
Yeah, so that brought down his production a little bit, but coming into the season, he was number one.
He was my number one corner before when the
Wow.
season first started. He was. So
Definitely. All right, before we get to our number two, I just want to say this. I've been flip flopping these number two guys, and I'm pretty sure it's the same two guys you got, right? Flip flopping these guys since the draft process started. I mean, Christian Gonzalez was my guy. I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Since I'm saying this. Christian Gonzalez was my number one guy forever, and the last 2 weeks I've been flip flopping him and my number one guy. I'm taking Christian Gonzalez here. Although I really do like him, and I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain it a little bit later after I reveal my number one. But go ahead, Ray. I'm gonna let you go.
Well, I have Devin Witherspoon number two.
Okay.
Again, he's a fast corner, and he's a ball hawk. He is. He's around the ball, and I like him. But I mean, I can't put him ahead of my number one guy because I think that my number one guy could play in any system. I think Devin Witherspoon could play in any system. I think as a zone corner, though, he really would excel and use his quickness and his break on the ball, and probably get you some picks. Again, 2 months ago, I probably have my 3 at number 1, and my 2 at number 3, and my 1 at number 2. So it's kind of like switched throughout the season a little bit. But again, it's not a knock on Joey Porter or Devin Witherspoon. It's a credit to my number one guy who I think played better football than the other two. That's all.
Who's your number one guy, Ray?
Christian Gonzalez from Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has the size, he has the lineage, he has the length. He's just a good football player. Do I worry about his? Here's the thing. I don't like taking physical positions from Pac-12 and Pac-10 teams because they don't play physical.
Correct.
And I do like their corners because they do have guys that are ball hawks out there usually.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. I like him a lot as well. Obviously, like I said, I got him at number 2. My number one guy is going to be Devin Witherspoon. And let me just explain why I have it like this. Because, like I said, Christian Gonzalez was my guy. I actually wanted the Eagles to get Christian Gonzalez for the longest. I wouldn't mind the Eagles still getting a cornerback, actually, pretty early, maybe the second round, or if they trade back out of the first round. But I think Devin Witherspoon just is a lot more physical for me. I love that physicality that he brings. Like you said, Ray, if he's in the zone scheme, I think he's really excel. Really burst into the scene. I know he played at Illinois a lot. Not a lot of people watch Illinois football, but this kid, I really do like him. For Christian Gonzalez, I feel like Devin Witherspoon is a little bit more finished product now. Where Christian Gonzalez, you might have to get the most out of him. And again, this is not a knock on either of these guys or any of these guys because they're all good corners. I think Christian Gonzalez is just a little bit more raw right now. But I do think with good coaching, you get a good coaching staff in there and really teach him the ways, he could be the number one guy in this draft. I just think right now, just looking at this moment and the way I personally like to play cornerback, which is the physical nature of I like to play. Devin Witherspoon is a little bit more appealing to me.
Yeah, I would say it like Witherspoon looks more physical, where Gonzalez is smoother.
Yeah,
they both get it done, but Witherspoon is like in your grill, where Gonzalez is around you. Like,
correct.
Witherspoon would come up and try to knock the ball out of your hands, where Christian Gonzalez will reach over and then knock it away from you.
Gotcha.
They do it a little differently. I think they're both good players, though. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? They're both going to be good players. They're both first-round players. So,
I agree. All right, Ray, let's get to some other cornerbacks in this league. Let's get to our sleepers right now. So that's guys, obviously, like I said before, sleepers are guys that maybe nobody really talking about that you really like. So you got Ray.
And again, these are good, like Julius Brents from Kansas State and Tyree
Ooh,
Stevenson from Miami.
ooh.
I am
Okay,
again.
I didn't put them in
These
there.
guys are going to be day 2 and could be like third round players. And if it wasn't for the crazy depth of the position, these guys are easy late first, early second round players.
Ray, you just made me upset. Cause I'm just like, man, I should have put them in my list. Especially Julius Brents. I really like Julius
He's
Brents.
6'2", 200 pounds. I mean, the kid has long arms. I'm again. This is the Miami could use anybody could always use a good corner. I don't care where you get them from. Anybody, but if you need depth of corner, this is a good draft to need depth of corner because there's a lot of kids here, man.
No, for real. I mean, I love this cornerback draft. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun watching these corners go off the board, man. My guy is a guy. I'm calling him a sleeper because obviously the 40 time is not the sexy 40 time. He had a 4.52. A lot of people don't think that's a sexy speed time, but he's a good player. Go ahead, Ray. You want to say
Sheldon
something?
Brown ran a 4.55, dude.
Who did?
Sheldon Brown for the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Sheldon Brown was an excellent football player, dude.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
This man is 6 foot, 191 pounds. But I really do like him. He's going to be an outside corner for me. Man-to-man guy. Got to see him at the Senior Bowl, and that's going to be Caillou Blue Kelly. I really do like this guy. I don't watch a lot of Stanford football. I'll be completely honest. But when I see him at the Senior Bowl, I was like, I gotta look into this guy because he's always, he had a lot of PBUs during the Senior Bowl practices. And I'm just like, who is this guy? He's always like stuck like on glue to like these guys, and he played very well. We did get to interview him. Really good kid. I really, really do like him. I think a lot of people's not talking enough about him. But in a cornerback class like this, I understand. Like, there's too many guys. But I really do like Caillou Blue Kelly. I love his name, too, to be honest. So, he's a good guy. What do you think about him, Ray?
No, I like him. I like again. I like this class. I like Kelly. I think he's a good football player. I mean, he's around the football. I mean, that's really, if you're a corner or you're a defensive back and you have a way of being around the football, that's the best skill you can have.
Yeah, and that tells you a lot for a slow corner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Give me a guy who plays fast but don't run fast over the opposite, man. I'm 100% believer of that, man. If you show me a guy who runs a 4.5 but plays faster than that, he's fine.
100%. All right, let's get to our small school guys. Who you got, Ray?
Miles Brooks from Louisiana Tech, another kid, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and Nick Jones from Ball State, 5'11", 190.
I like it.
Again, if it wasn't for the fact that the class is so deep, these guys probably would be taken a little bit earlier than they. Nick Jones may not get drafted, but he's going to be on someone's practice squad somewhere.
Definitely. No, I agree with that, man. My guy's going to be Lance Boykin. You know how I am, Ray. I'm a little biased with my Coastal Carolina guy, but this guy got a lot of length. 6'3", 210 pounds, very long, very lanky. Definitely had the long arms to get his hands out there, things like that. He didn't run a 40 time in the 40s. I would have loved to see that. So I don't have a number on his 40 time, but solid player. I think he's going to be very good. He could be a number 2, a number 3 guy in his career, and especially if he can develop a little bit more. Obviously, going to a smaller school, that's why we have him. But 2-star recruit, played very, very well out there. I believe he transferred from where did he transfer from? I want to say Old Dominion. Okay. When we interviewed him, I forgot what he said. I think he transferred from Old Dominion, so he didn't play that much at Coastal Carolina. But when he did play the final year, he was a boss, and I really do like him. He got a lot of upside to him. What do you think about him, Ray?
I like him too. Again, the class is just so deep; it's hard to get a grasp of all these guys. But
That's
I
true.
like him too. I mean, again, I have like 23, 24 guys that could be drafted.
Yeah,
There's corners, which is crazy to me, but it is what it is.
definitely, 100%. Yeah, yeah. He played at. I'm sorry. He played Old Domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when they Coastal Carolina played against Old Domain, he had one of his best games.
Hmm.
So
Of course you
tells you,
do.
yeah, it tells you he's a competitor, man.
Absolutely.
Go against your old team and just getting those old juices. I remember it's funny. Quick Jerome story, real quick. When I played my in my days of semi-pro football, I played against one of my old teams, and literally my best game, I had 2 picks, and one of them was a pick six. So that's just the competitiveness of playing football and just wanting to best up. Now, you kind of wish that you do that every game, but if you could get up on your old team, that's always a good feeling, man. It's always a good feeling.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the safety class. Top 5 safeties in the NFL draft. Ray, we're gonna start with you at number 5. Who you got?
I have Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame, number 5. A guy who is a good, strong cover safety. Does struggle with tackling at times. His old sloppiness technique does need to be coached on that part of his game. But again, a good football player, was really good at Northwestern 2 years ago, transferred to Notre Dame last year, and was a good, solid contributor to a solid defense. Not a great defense, solid defense. So, but I'm a Brandon Joseph fan. I think he's a third-round player. If you need a true free safety, he's a good player for you to take.
Definitely, I like him. I like him. I don't know much about him. So obviously, I think you know a little bit more, being a Notre Dame guy. But I did hear a lot of good things about him. I haven't watched tape on him yet. I'm still kind of behind on some tape, but I think I really do like him. My
I
number
think
5 guy.
when you watch his tape, you're going to see like literally like he struggles tackling bigger physical guys, but he's a really good, strong cover guy. So
100% like that. All right, now my number 5 guy is more of a slot safety, but I really do like him. I've been watching him for a while, playing at Texas A&M, and that's going to be Antonio Johnson. Very good size, very versatile. He's at 6'2", 198 pounds. Very physical tackler. Good tackler. Can he cover that well? He's a solid guy. He's a solid guy. He could cover pretty well. He's a slot guy, so but I think he can get a little bit better actually in the NFL. And it really depends on what team grabs him. But I really do like him. I will say this: the safety class this year is not the greatest, but you can find some quality guys depending on what teams they go. What do you think about Antonio?
I have him a little higher than you do, Jerome, but
Nice.
I'm a fan. I think, like I said, I think he's an okay coverage because I think he makes his butter like being up and playing near a lot of scrimmage. But I think that he's a good football player. And like you said, it's not a great safety class. So
Yeah, definitely. All right, who you got at number 4?
J.L. Skinner from Boise State, number 4. Again, a guy who's big, athletic, has some coverage ability, but again, is a nice, strong tackler who, again, has some coverage ability, So
Nice. I like J.L. Skinner. I don't have him in my top 5, but I will be talking about him later. For sure. All right, my number 4 guy, another Senior Bowl guy, Jamie Robinson, from Florida. Florida State. Please don't kill me, guys. From Florida State. Really like this guy. Scrappy guy. He had to be the mouthpiece of the Senior Bowl. I mean, the guy was definitely the talker, motivator, getting your grill kind of guy. I love his physicality. Very productive tackler, high motor guy. He's 5'11", 191 pounds. But I love his game. I think he could be a really good player in the NFL. Especially depending on how you kind of utilize him. Yeah, I like him a lot, man. Especially the fact that he can, get in your grill and show you what's up. Like, hey, I'm not safety. He kind of remind me a little bit of, as far as personality wise, reminds me of C.J. Gardner-Johnson in a sense. So I kind of like that from my safety. Get a little sass to him. I love it.
Yeah.
Just eh.
I mean, I like. Again, there's some quality safeties. There's no one that really stands out. Really
Yeah,
stands out.
yeah,
There's no, and I know there's good. There's no Brian Dawkins. There's no Ed Reed. There's no guy that you think he definitely should be taken in the first round, even though Brian Dawkins wasn't taken in the first round either. But it is what it is. But
yeah.
I just think again, the safety class, there's some depth there. If you need an in-box safety this year, you're okay. If
Yeah,
you need a true cover guy that can do a little bit of everything, it's not a great class for that.
I agree. I agree. Definitely. All right, number 3 got Ray. Who you got?
I have Antonio Johnson, number 3.
Nice.
Again, I think he's an okay cover guy, but I think his bread and butter will be up near the line of scrimmage, maybe playing tight ends, doing some stuff there. More than likely, just being a good, solid in-box run defender.
Definitely. I like him a lot, man. I got him in my top 5. I don't blame you for having my top 3, Ray. He's a really good player for sure. My number 3 guy is gonna be Jordan Battle from Alabama. Very versatile guy, very smart safety, and I believe he was one of the leaders on that defense for Alabama. Physical tackler. Again, like to have my safeties make sure they're really physical tacklers back there. Can punish somebody if they need to. I think that his coverage skills need to get some work on him. He is 5'11", 5'1". I'm sorry, 5'1". 6'1", 209 pounds. I hope he's not 5'1". But I think he's a really good player, very physical. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, again, another guy that was injured last year, didn't play a lot last year. But I like his productivity. I think he can be a solid guy. What do you think, Ray?
I like him. I have Battle as my number 2 guy, so I'm a fan. I
Nice,
think
nice.
that, again, if you're looking for a guy who can come up and be a thumper, play against the run as a safety in the safety position, my only fear is that like a lot of teams really want their safeties to cover a little bit more.
Yeah,
But I think if you need a guy that can play in the box and can maybe be a third safety on a team, I think the Dolphins are going to be a team you're going to see them run a lot of 4-2-5 defense this year. I think they have 3-4 safeties they really like, and their linebacker depth is not great unless they come out of the draft with more linebacker play.
yeah. So, I think similarly with the Eagles, actually.
Yeah, I think that's the way your defense is going to start going. You need guys that can cover, and you'd rather have a safety that can cover a little bit than a linebacker that's really can't cover almost nobody. So
Correct. I agree. Yeah, my number 2 guy is gonna be Sidney Brown. Simply because I really do like him. He's an athletic guy. If you want an athletic safety, he's your guy. He's gonna thump you. Got speed on him. He got pretty good coverage and range right there. The only reason that I have him and Battle difference is Battle. I think just like I said, he was injured, so I think Jordan Battle, we'll see how he does coming back from the injury. But Sidney Brown is a really good guy, really rising up the boards. I got to see him at the Senior Bowl. Him and his brother play very well out there. A guy that I think is going to be a player for somebody for some time. I think he's a starter. I really do think he's a starter for you guys. What do you think?
I like him. If I would have had a 5B, it would have been Sidney Brown from Illinois. I think he's a good player, and his backstory of him and his brother, how they wound up at Illinois, is a pretty great story.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a drafted player. I think again he can cover some, and he's a solid tackler. I think he'd rather cover than tackle, but he's only 5'9". But again, if I'd had a 5B, Sidney Brown would have been the guy. I thought about putting him in my top 5. He had one really good year of game film. That's why I didn't have him in my top 5.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, he's a little smaller too, so I definitely understand why 5'9".
Yeah, I don't know if you know the story about him. He was born overseas, was offered a a spot to live with some family in Florida. Him and his brother both played there. Went down to Florida, played there. Went and played at smaller schools. Winded up the one that played at Illinois first. I don't remember which one it was.
I think it
Played at
was
Illinois. The other one played at a smaller school. He went to Illinois. Now, I mean, his mother only seen him play like 1 or 2 games together this whole year, and now they're both probably going to be drafted, which is nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, very good story. I never heard that story actually, right? So
I actually heard it this morning. Either one of these mornings, I was listening to NFL in the morning.
okay.
They have on the NFL Network. They have a Good Morning Football.
Oh, Good Morning Football. Yeah,
I watch that because I like as you know, I like Cam Wolf, and he's on there a decent amount. So
Cam Wolf. Oh, Cam Wolf's on there. Okay, nice.
yeah, he's
nice.
my guy, man. Covers the Dolphins. He's a local kid.
Yeah.
I like him. He's really. I tell you, I listen to this show called The Big O Show. Some guy who covers the Dolphins down in South Florida. Cam Smith is really the only one on that station that he's worth listening to every time he's on there. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so you got your number 2, right?
I gave you number 2. I had
Right, so
my number Brian Branch from Alabama.
yeah, I think
He has the most overall game ready ability right now. He's a solid coverage guy. He's not great, but he's solid. And he's a thumper. He's a big kid of 5'11", 190 pounds. He's a good solid tackler. He actually is an explosive athlete. Just doesn't have great long speed. That's all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. Brian Branch is my guy as well. 6 foot, 109 pounds. Running at 4.58, which is not bad for a safety. I really do like him. Like you say, he's not like a blazer, but he's a guy. Excuse me. He's the type of guy though that he don't get. I feel like he's not gonna get a lot of picks for you. He's gonna be solid. He's gonna be around the ball. He did get 2 picks this last year, but I feel like he's one of those guys that's not gonna get a whole bunch of.
That's my overall thing about the whole class, though, Jerome.
Yeah,
you don't have those guys that are going to get turnovers for you. Correct. You're gonna have guys that are going to come in and play, and they're going to be solid contributors, but they're not going to get you. You're not going to see a safety in this class. I think where they're going to give you like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sacks a year every year. They're not. They're going to be around the ball. And they're going to make plays for you, but they're not going to be picks. They're not going to be turnovers. So
definitely, no, I agree. All right, let's get to our sleepers. Right, who you got for a sleeper?
I have Jair Brown from Penn State and Anthony Johnson from Iowa State. Both 5'11", around 205. Both 5th-round picks, probably. Both good football players. Again, like the whole class, good, solid player. Nothing exceptional though.
Yeah. Definitely, I'm glad you said Zaire Brown because I actually had him as my sleeper. I got 3 sleepers, right? So I'm gonna hit you for this. I got Zaire Brown, I got JL Skinner, and I got a guy that I didn't look too much into until I seen him at the Senior Run. I was like, man, this kid is always around the ball, and that's Daniel Scott from Cal. This kid plays, man, and I honestly, he's out of everybody I've seen at the Senior Bowl, he was the best cover safety I've seen there.
No, I like him. I like him a lot. I think that, again, because he's a little bit like Brandon Joseph, he's going to be a true free safety and doesn't give you great tackling ability.
Yeah.
But I do like him. And again, not a guy who's going to get a lot of turnovers, but he's going to be around the ball.
Yeah, so. He had a surprising 4.45 too. So he's a little bit faster than I thought he was going to be too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
man. I'm curious to see how he does. He might be a guy that, again, NFL get some NFL coaching might be better than a lot of us think.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Again, I don't know if there's any true stud in this draft, but you may turn out to be a little bit more good NFL players than I think.
Yeah, and he's an older prospect. He's 20. He's going to be 25.
He is 25. Yeah, he's going to be 25.
Yeah. So I'll definitely say he needs to tackle better. That if you can get to teach him how to really tackle, because tackling is teachable. You can teach how to tackle.
No, you can. A lot of it's just technique.
Yeah.
And when you're let's face it, when you're a safety in college, you probably played mostly corner in high school.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you're just not used to having to tackle people. Or in safeties, You need to be a little bit more physical. You need to be able to come up and at least not take guys to the ground, if nothing else.
Exactly.
You
No,
know,
I agree.
yeah.
All right, let's get to our small school guy. This part was kind of hard for me, right? Because I didn't see a lot of small school guys for myself. But who you got?
I have two. Well, I have J.L. Skinner, of course, from Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a guy who I had in my top 5. But again, like you said, the smaller school guys were a little bit thinner because it's not a great class. So I use him as one of my own. And I have Jovarvius Owens from Houston, who actually is a 6 foot, 195-pound kid who actually who played a lot of free safety looks at Houston because, as we know, everybody in them conferences throws the ball football a lot too. So that is where I think the value of this year's safety class is going to be. If you do have the hybrid defense where you're playing 3 safeties, because one of them guys are almost like a linebacker. Because again, the strength of the safeties this year are that they're good tacklers. It's not really coverage guys.
Definitely. No, I agree. All right, my guy is going to be Quindell Johnson from Memphis. Again, it was kind of hard for me to get a true small school guy, but Quindell Johnson, 4 picks this year. Very versatile safety, 6'1", 194 pounds. Very solid guy. He can be somebody that you can possibly make an impact as a free safety. I think he can do that. Strong, really good ball skills. Again, he kind of reminds me, but he's kind of similar to Daniel Scott, where not the greatest tackler. So we need to kind of work on that a little bit. But I think he's a good player. What do you think about Johnston?
I'm a fan. Again, a guy who's more of a in-box type safety, who's not going to be a strong coverage guys, but looks like a decent, willing tackler. So,
yeah, definitely. I like him a lot. So,
yeah.
All right, Ray, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Hope you enjoyed our top 5 on every position. We're going to move along with that next week because next week is the draft. 8 days from today, the draft is here. But next Wednesday, we'll be on with our 4-man mock draft. As always, like we do every year, and it's going to be very fun. We're going to have 4 guys on the panel. It's going to be very fun. We're going to have draft stuff. We're going to talk about some rumors the day before the draft and do some good stuff for that. So make sure you check us out next week. If you didn't already, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can hit it right there in that QR code right under Ray, right under there. There you go. Hey, there you go, Ray. And then you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all our other social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that great stuff. Because we got a lot of good interviews. Like I said, I interviewed CJ Carr, who's going to be going into the college football rounds in the next few years. And I know Ray's very excited about that. So if you excited about some Notre Dame, if you got some Notre Dame fans out there, make sure you go watch that. If you're a Michigan fan, turn your head. But he's a really good player. And I did ask him about Michigan. So if you want to hear what I said about Michigan, definitely go check that out on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you can know when we are live. And again, we always answer comments. So if you want to comment on some of our old videos or this video, you can put it down at the comment section. We will answer it. If you have any questions about the draft, if you have any questions about any players that we interviewed, anything football related, we will answer it on our YouTube channel. Again, that's Inside the Hashes. Thank you guys so much. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Looking forward to doing some good stuff next week. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.